John Meuret from Meuret Grain Company is our market analyst this week. At the end of March, the U.S. Department of Agriculture will release its prospective plantings report containing farmers' plans for spring planting. The agency held its annual Agricultural Outlook Forum this week in Virginia, containing a very preliminary overview for this season. While there might not be a crop in the ground yet, 2018 has already been a tremendous year for soybeans. Since the beginning of January, the March soybean futures contract added more than 70 cents, with Wednesday's close at $10.34 per bushel. As we discussed last week, part of that rise can be traced to dry conditions in Argentina. That country exports more soybean meal than any other nation in the world. The resulting impact on prices is illustrated by the 19% jump in the nearby meal contract since the first of the year. John joined us Wednesday in Lincoln, where we started our conversation by asking about the ongoing soybean market rally.
Jeff, it's going to keep going up until we rain or we see rain, and neither one of them are in the forecast today, so it's a little higher every day.
How is the underlying strength resulting from soybean meal?
Well, I think it's all driven by soybean meal. If Argentina doesn't sell the beans, they can't crush the beans and sell the meal. So we come back to the U.S. and export the meal. And until something changes, that's going to continue to be the strength is in the meal.
How would you describe the local movement you've seen in sales?
It's been active, both old crop and new crop. I think you can feel the farmer catching up sales. I think you can feel him selling the new crop, getting in front of the crop that he's going to put in the ground. So it has been very active.
Basis moving?
It's weaker. It's weaker on the old crop for sure. New crop is steady in the last 2 weeks.
Do you expect that to continue?
I do, Jeff. I think if you continue to take the old crop higher, we're going to continue to widen the basis. The crusher's making money, but he's got a lot of beans, so he doesn't need to get real aggressive here.
What are you doing with those beans? Are there export markets that are being competitive right now?
There's a pretty good export market, but we're on the tail end of it, so it's a really tricky time. It should go to the crusher, and the U.S. crusher, as I indicated, is making good money. So we'll find out what we do with them. But right now we'll hold and carry and see if we can get rid of them here if there's a problem in Brazil's harvest.
What do you think is the appropriate way to approach selling strategies?
Jeff, I just think you have to look at what your cost was or what your cost is going to be if it's new crop. And if you know it costs you 9 and you can sell 9.5 cash, you sell. And I don't think you get caught up in Argentina's got problems and it's going to go to 11 or 12. I think you just need to take profits when they're there.
Do you like new crop at this level no matter what, or only if it's a profit?
I think only if it's a profit, Jeff. If you're selling below your cost of production, I'm not sure that makes sense today. You've got a lot of things that can change. You've got an insurance revenue that is almost set now through February. So, sell if you've got profit. If you don't, I would be patient.
What do you expect in Brazil?
Brazil's got a record crop, and I think what we're going to see when the dust settles is the massive Brazilian crop is going to offset any losses in Argentina. So I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we've had a little adjustment, we've had a little fear, and it's healthy. It's good for the market.
Meaning you don't think it'll smoke the market once it comes to?
No, I don't. No, and what I mean by that is I think the Brazilian farmer will be a slower seller, but it will offset the losses in Argentina.
What could we see in corn that could help jolt that market like we've seen in soybeans?
I think what we need to see is we need to see less acres in the next 60 days in North America. And if we do that, I think you've got a chance in 9 months or a year to have something kind of interesting in corn. But it's going to take that. And you can see beans went up a lot, and it took corn up about 15 cents. And in the meantime, you've covered a massive fund short that was your chance. That was your fireworks. And so now that they're flat or long a little bit, it's going to be a little harder to push it.
You have new crop brushing up against 4. Do you like to be a seller there?
That's the same thing as the beans. If you can see that 3.5 or 3.75 for next spring and it's a profitable level, I would sell it. If you are not at those levels, then I think you can be a little patient. You've got a spring price that's again going to be real close to that $3.95 or $4 mark when we're done in February. So maybe give it a chance a little bit, especially longer term. I think you're going to be okay.
What's basis look like for old crop sales?
Old crop is just steady. The corn has not been overwhelming the last 2 weeks, old crop or new crop, nothing like the beans. So I would say it's steady, to say the least. Domestic demand's been good, the feedlots, the ethanol plants, the hog people, it's been really good.
What's your sense of how much is left in the country?
I think there's 50 or 60% of the corn left in the country and probably 30% on the beans.
Is it aggressive forward selling at any point yet?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think step 1 is to clean up the old crop, and step 2 for them is going to be to engage that new crop and get aggressive.
We're about a month away from that acres report. What do you think we'll see?
I think we're going to have more bean acres than corn acres, and that's maybe an indication of a couple things. A little tighter banker financing to the farmer, and I think also people don't want to spend any money. So if you don't put it out there, you can't lose it. So I think that mindset will push more beans in.
The total number, do you think that's going to be a shock to the market when we see corn, beans taking away from wheat perhaps?
That's a good question. I think you'll see certainly a little bit of a surprise with more beans, but the market's kind of anticipating what I'm talking about. So we'll see if we can maybe put a lid on the new crop beans at that point and let new crop corn rally a little bit.